Real quick before the video gets started, just want to let you guys know that I am currently selling a t-shirt, the Easy Mode t-shirt. A shirt for those of you gamers like me who don't have anything to prove to anyone and enjoy games for the fun, for the story, and for feeling like a friggin' superhero. So what are you waiting for? Head to the link down in the description below and go pick one up before the end of the day on May 31st, at which point they will be gone.
Greetings, Poké fans! Michael here. A few years back, I made two videos called Pokemon Type Weaknesses Explained and Pokemon Type Resistances Explained, where I went through every single type matchup in Pokemon and tried to logically explain why those matchups exist. For example, water is good against fire because water puts out fire, and so forth. If you haven't seen those videos and are interested in doing so, I will link them in the cards. I really enjoyed making those videos since it was pretty fun to analyze such a central Pokemon mechanic, so I decided it would be fun to do another Pokemon mechanic analysis type video, except instead of type matchups, I'm going to be analyzing and explaining the Pokemon abilities. I'm going to go through every single Pokemon ability and list its name and effect, and then try to logically explain why an ability with that name does what it does. Some will be pretty straightforward and obvious, but others are a bit more complicated. Also, I will be breaking this video into multiple parts because there are way too many Pokemon abilities to fit into one video. There are 234 abilities as of Generation 7, so if I spent 10 seconds on each ability, that'd be an almost 40-minute video. If I spent 30 seconds on each ability, the video would be almost 2 hours. So expect a couple more parts of this series as the months go on. So be sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't already. And without further ado, here is part 1 of Pokemon Type Abilities Explained. The first is Ability 0, Cacophony. Cacophony is an ability that was in Generation 3's code, but was never assigned to any Pokemon, and then was removed from the game's code in future generations. It does the exact same thing as Soundproof, which is the Pokemon avoids sound-based moves. The explanation for this is that the definition of a cacophony is a harsh, discordant mixture of sounds. So the idea is whenever Pokemon had cacophony, was exposed to just so much general noisiness that it drowned out all other sound attacks. But now the first used ability, number 1, Stench. By releasing Stench when attacking, this Pokemon may cause the target to flinch. You ever smelled something so bad that it just made you go, oh, ugh, God, what is that? Well, that's you flinching as a result of a very bad smell, so therefore, this makes sense. Number 2 is DRIZZLE. The Pokemon makes it rain when entering battle. Now, I realize that drizzle kinda sounds like fo shizzle my nizzle, and making it rain means throwing bills everywhere. I sound so white, I apologize. But that is not what this means. Drizzle means a light rain, and so a Pokemon entering battle that causes it to rain is causing it to drizzle. Number 3 is Speed Boost. Its speed stat is boosted every turn. Speed Boost, it has its speed boosted. This is one of the obvious ones. Number 4 is Battle Armor. Hard armor protects the Pokemon from critical hits. If your body is covered with very strong armor, extra strong hits aren't gonna be able to break through. Number 5 is Sturdy. The Pokemon cannot be knocked out in one hit. One-hit KO moves don't work either. The definition of something sturdy is something tough enough to withstand rough work or treatment. So a Pokemon with a very sturdy body has a strong enough body to withstand really tough hits. Number 6 is Damp. Prevents the use of explosive moves such as Self-Destruct by dampening its surroundings. Bombs don't work if their fuses can't be lit, and those fuses can't be lit if they're too wet. So by dampening the surroundings, it's making any sort of bomb or explosion fail. Number 7 is Limber. Its limber body protects the Pokemon from paralysis. Something limber is something that bends and flexes easily. So a body that moves and flexes with extreme ease is gonna be impossible to keep from moving. Number 8 is Sand Veil. Boosts the Pokemon's evasion in a sandstorm. A veil is something worn to cover or conceal something. So if a Pokemon is using a Sandstorm to conceal itself, it's gonna be pretty difficult to hit. Number 9 is static. The Pokemon is charged with static electricity, so contact with it may cause paralysis. Static electricity is an electric charge stuck in one place, but if contact with that Pokemon occurs, that charge can move from the Pokemon with static onto the Pokemon that's attacking, leaving it shocked and paralyzed. Number 10 is Volt Absorb. Restores HP if hit by an electric move instead of taking damage. This one's pretty straightforward. Volts is a measure of electric potential, and if a Pokemon is hit by a lot of volts, it absorbs them and uses them to heal. Number 11, Water Absorb. Restores HP if hit by a water type move instead of taking damage. It absorbs the water. Nothing else to say. Number 12, Oblivious. The Pokemon is oblivious, therefore preventing it from being infatuated or falling for taunts. If someone is oblivious, they are unaware of what is going on around them. Unfortunately for many people, this often applies to social cues, such as romantic advances, therefore preventing them from being infatuated, or from malicious teasing, preventing them from falling for a taunt. I must say, if Ash Ketchum had to have one Pokemon ability, Oblivious would be it. Number 13, Cloud 9. Eliminates the effects of weather. If someone is on Cloud 9, they are in a state of perfect happiness, as if they are floating on air. It's a phrase derived from literal clouds, but apparently in the Pokemon world, if a Pokemon is figuratively on Cloud 9, it may also literally be on Cloud 9. Floating on a nice, happy, fluffy cloud away from the effects of all the weather. Number 14, Compound Eyes. The Pokemon's Compound Eyes boost its accuracy. For those who don't know, Compound Eyes is a type of eyes that a lot of bugs have that consist of an array of small visual units that allow them to see in pretty much all directions at once. If a Pokemon can see everything around it all at once at the same time, it's gonna be pretty freaking accurate with its attacks. Number 15, Insomnia. The Pokemon suffers from insomnia and cannot fall asleep. If you didn't know, insomnia is actually a real life condition that a lot of people have that prevents them from falling asleep. So if a Pokemon has insomnia as well, it's not gonna be able to fall asleep. Number 16, Color Change. The Pokemon's type becomes the type of the move used on it. Real life chameleons change their coloring based on mood, but Kecleon apparently changes its coloring based on its surroundings. And its surroundings, in this case in battle, is the move that was just used on it. Number 17, Immunity. The immune system of a Pokemon prevents it from getting poisoned. In the real world, if someone has an immunity to a disease or some kind of poison, they can't be harmed by it. Same thing goes for these Pokemon. Number 18, Flash Fire. Powers up the Pokemon's fire type moves if it is hit by one. A Flash Fire is a very sudden and intense fire. So if a Pokemon with this ability is attacked by a fire move, they just create their own Flash Fire and absorb those new flames into their own fire, making it even stronger. Number 19, Shield Dust. This Pokemon's dust blocks the additional effects of attacks taken. If something is surrounded by a dust cloud, it's not gonna be harder to hit because you're still gonna be able to see where it is, but it's definitely gonna interfere with the attack, making them lose some of their effectiveness. Number 20 is Own Tempo. This Pokemon has its own tempo, and that prevents it from being confused. If you didn't know, the tempo of something is the speed at which it happens, and it usually refers to music. So if a Pokemon is dead set on its own personal mental tempo, just going like this at this speed, external attempts to confuse it aren't gonna work. Number 21 is Suction Cups. This Pokemon uses Suction Cups to negate all moves and items that force switching out. Suction Cups are real-life devices that use small air vacuums to suck onto something and stay there. So if a Pokemon is covered in these Suction Cups, they're not going anywhere unless they want to. Number 22 is Intimidate. The Pokemon intimidates the foe, lowering its attack stat. Intimidating something is frightening something without actually harming it. So a Pokemon with Intimidate is scaring the opponent into backing off from the fight, thus lowering their attack stat. Number 23, Shadow Tag. The Pokemon steps on the opposing Pokemon's shadow, preventing it from escaping. While in the real world, shadows are not spiritually linked to a person or a creature, that doesn't seem to be the case in the Pokemon world. So a Pokemon with the right powers to tag, as in attach to, a Pokemon's shadow can hold it in place, thus preventing the Pokemon from leaving as well. Number 24 is Rough Skin. This Pokemon inflicts damage on the attacker if the opposing Pokemon makes contact. This one's another pretty simple one. Its skin is scratchy. If you touch it, it's gonna hurt. Number 25 is Wonder Guard. Its mysterious power only lets super effective moves hit the Pokemon. Shedinja has some sort of mystical guard surrounding it, but no one really knows how it works. Hence the wonder all about it. Number 26 is Levitate. By floating in the air, the Pokemon receives full immunity to ground type moves. If something is levitating, as it says, it is floating above the ground, almost as if it's flying. And since, like flying types, if something is off the ground can't harm it. Number 27 is Effect Spore. Contact with the Pokemon may inflict poison, paralysis, or sleep on the attacker. In real life, mushrooms have spores that they disperse in order to reproduce. However, if those spores are consumed, they can often be harmful, even fatal, to the creature that consumes them. Clearly, mushroom-based Pokemon can do the same thing. They can spread their spores onto a Pokemon attacking them, leaving them with some kind of harmful condition. Number 28 is Synchronize. The Pokemon will receive the same status condition if it inflicts a burn, poison, or paralysis onto the Pokemon. The definition of synchronizing something is causing it to occur at the same time or rate. Apparently, Pokemon with the ability Synchronize don't just synchronize their timing with the opponent, they sync their health as well. Number 29 is Clear Body. Prevents other Pokemon's moves or abilities from lowering the Pokemon's stats. This one is a weird one. If a Pokemon has Clear Body, it means the Pokemon's body is see-through. But why that protects them from their stats being lowered is kinda tricky to explain. The best explanation I can come up with is that stat lowering has something to do with light, and so if a Pokemon has a clear body, that light and the stat lowering is just gonna pass right through. It's not the best explanation, I will admit, but also a lot of Pokemon with clear body don't even have clear bodies, so this one's just a weird one. And finally, number 30, Natural Cure. All status conditions are healed when the Pokemon switches out. Clearly, the Pokemon with this ability have some sort of built-in natural curing ability. They just need a break from battle in order to activate it. All right, guys, those are all the abilities I'm gonna be doing for this part, but future parts will be coming. So if you have any suggestions for some creative explanations for any abilities I didn't cover in this video, be sure to let me know them down in the comments below. Also, if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to drop a like on it. And if you're new here, make sure you subscribe to my channel for lots of fun Pokemon content almost every day. And whether you're a new subscriber or been subscribed for a while, if you love my content, make sure you hit that bell icon so you'll be notified every time I post a video. Because a lot of times, if you don't hit that bell icon, you're gonna miss some videos of mine that you wanna see. Also, a quick little bit of extra self-promo. I have been streaming a lot on Twitch lately, so if you like my live streams, you like seeing me play games that are not Pokemon, if you have any interest in that, and if you're old/mature enough, because it's not as family-friendly as this channel, make sure to follow me on Twitch. Link is in the description below. All right, that's all I have for now. So until next time, big fans. Gotta catch them all. Everybody wants to get down.